All right, let's talk about social media ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, which are one and the same thing pretty much. I want to show you a 4-step formula that works every single time. So sit tight, let's do this. Hey, what's going on? Yuri, Elkaim here, founder and CEO of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals and coaches get more clients and scale their virtual practices. So if you have an online presence and you want to work with clients virtually, over Zoom, etc., guess what? They have to find you. They have to know you exist, right? Because obscurity is really going to kill your business. If no one knows you exist, how can they possibly do business with you? So you're here watching this because you are probably thinking, you know what? I should probably run some ads. Good for you. Okay, because if you can understand how to turn $1 into $5 or something like that, a positive ROI, that's the holy grail of business, right? You know, kindergarten is like posting on social media and doing these TikTok videos and yay, no offense if that's what you do, but it's not a business, let's be honest, right? I want to show you a better way of doing things, because if you can put an ad out onto the world, okay, Facebook, Instagram, it's the same platform. Facebook bought Instagram years ago. And you have an ad that is 24/7 working on your behalf. So you could be chilling or working with clients or hanging out with your family, and you still have this thing doing its thing for you. That's leverage. That's what a business owner does, is it leverages systems, and an investor leverages money. So advertising is the best of both worlds, because you're not just going to put out an ad. The ad has to go somewhere. In our world, it goes into a perfect client pipeline. If you want to look at what that looks like and see how it can work in your business, click the link below, watch the training today. It will transform your life, guaranteed, or I'll give you your money back. By the way, it's free. Second thing is the ad. We'll say, I don't even know what I was talking about here. So the ad goes somewhere, and perfect client pipeline. All right, cool. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. So let's get into the formula, okay? So what you may have seen online when it comes to ads is a very simple ad, which looks like an ad on Facebook. So think about Facebook and think of the ads you've seen. You see ads from like the typical big companies and the software platforms that we all use, like ClickFunnels and AppSumo and whatever else. And it's the typical stuff, right? 1 or 2 sentences, click here for a special discount. You're not running ads like that, okay? That's a very surefire way not to have successful ad campaigns. The key with advertising, what I would call a higher end coaching service on the back end, ultimately, is understanding you're not selling that in your Facebook ads, right? The purpose of an ad is to stop people in their tracks, right? So if I had a video and I was like, stop, right? If I did all this kind of stuff, that's going to get your attention. And I'm not saying you have to do shenanigans like that. But that's the purpose of an ad, is to stop someone in their scroll to command their attention. Now, a lot of experts will tell you that's it. Get their attention and get the click, which is true. However, we have to understand where people are going. If you're offering a 1-page cheat sheet, which, by the way, is going to attract that type of person who is not very committed, who in 50% of cases won't even go to their email to download the 1-page cheat sheet that they said they want. And I say this having done this for 20 years and seeing statistically how that breaks down. It doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. So I think all of us want more committed clients, right? So if you want more committed clients, you have to start the journey with that in mind. So we look at, I'm just going to use Facebook advertising. When we talk about social media ads, we're really talking about Facebook and Instagram, right? So I'll just say Facebook ads for the rest of this video, if that's okay. So when we think of scrolling through Facebook, every 3rd or 4th post is called, you'll see at the top, sponsored. That's an ad. So in our world, if you're a health expert looking to get more coaching clients, then what that looks like is it's going to be a longer ad. It's not just going to be 1 sentence, click over and download this recipe guide. Like, give me a break. We're going to move people into a perfect client pipeline. Perfect client pipeline, you can learn about more in the training below this video, but essentially we're inviting people to a webinar, okay, an online masterclass, whatever you want to call it. And we're getting people to jump through hoops. And this is why our system works every single time. We've done this now with thousands of health practitioners and coaches. This has generated over $100 million for our clients. Okay, so I'm talking from like actual experience here, not just like, oh, I heard something that works. Here, try this out. I've been doing this for a long time, okay? So the ad needs to be crafted in a very particular way for it to be effective. And I want to walk you through what that 4-step framework looks like right here. So number one, the first thing you do is, or the first part of the ad is known as the lead. What is the lead? The lead is the introduction, right? It's the entry into the rest of the ad. And the lead is essentially probably the most, honestly, if we're talking about like Pareto principle, 80-20, it's the most important piece, because very much like a headline on a newspaper or on a sales page is the most important thing on those different platforms, because it's the thing that's going to command people's attention. And it's going to get them to stop and continue reading, or they ignore it. So the lead in is really, think of it as the first couple sentences that's going to get somebody hooked in and committed to reading more. Think of it as like the start of a James Bond movie. Like it's like in the height of the action, you're already like in the movie. That's the type of feeling you want to invoke in people as they come across your stuff. So that's the first step. From the lead, we segue into your story, or a story. It could be a client, it could be yourself. And this story is really about empathizing with the prospect and letting them know that, hey, I understand what you're going through. I or my client went through something very similar. And now that person is like, okay, cool. This person gets me, right? So this is going to create the connection. And this story can be as long as it needs to be. But the next piece of this story is really the third part of the ad, which is some type of discovery. The story is essentially like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I used to struggle with a bunch of stuff. Here's some other stuff I tried. None of it worked. Then something happened. Then I made a startling discovery. Then I woke up one day and an apple fell on my head and, oh my God, I had an epiphany. So that discovery, the reason why it's so important is because the human brain is wired for novelty. We love new things, and discovery usually means something new. And so if you said, so like my name is so-and-so, I'll just use weight loss as an example. I used to struggle as an overweight teenager, and I was 35 pounds overweight, and I tried everything to lose weight. And then one day, my doctor told me to move more and eat less. And since that time, here's what I look like. That's not a very compelling story, because you've just given away everything. And it's not new. It's like, oh, thanks so much, dude. Exercise more, eat less. I've heard it before. That's not very compelling. So the discovery is tied in with an element of curiosity, where you don't really divulge the full secret or the discovery, because that's where the next part of the funnel or the pipeline comes in, where you can get more in depth about what that looks like. So as an example, in my previous health business, which was multiple 7 figures, we helped 500,000 people to better health. It was majorly complicated, like hundreds of funnels, hundreds of offers. It was a nightmare. And I never wanted to repeat that. So when I started Healthpreneur years ago, I said, how can I work smarter? And so I went through a ton of trial and error, and I discovered and then refined a really simple 4-step process called the perfect client pipeline. And since that time, it's been able to fill our business with perfect clients day after day after day, in a much more predictable, consistent, and automated way. Now, if you'd like to learn how that could work in your business, then click the link below. So see what I just did there? I introduced a new thing called the perfect client pipeline, which no one else has because we coined the term. And I've given you the benefits or the results of that discovery, right? Here's the before, here's the after, here's the thing that helped me get there. But I'm not telling you exactly how it is, like the granular details, because it's too long, right? So from there, we invite people to the next step, and that's step 4 in this framework, which is your call to action. So the call to action is, well, what do you want them to do next? So it's like, click here to watch the training, right? That's as simple as that. So that's the simple 4-step formula. So it's lead, story, discovery, call to action. 4 steps. So if you just follow that simple framework, your ads will be a lot more effective than, a lot of other stuff we see online. But again, like, I don't want to make it overly simplistic, because the words you choose and how you structure that ad makes a huge difference, obviously, right? How you tell that story, the type of lead you use, how you introduce the discovery, all that kind of stuff. And this is something that we spend a lot of time with our clients on. This is why we have some of the world's best copywriting coaches on our team, because they're able to work with our clients every single day on this stuff. Because, as much as you want to spend time with your clients and teaching and creating content, you have to have a predictable marketing machine working in your business. Because if you don't, you're going to be forced to spend most of your time marketing because you have no system to do it for you. And so that's why the Perfect Client Pipeline is so powerful, because it's a largely automated system. Right now, as I'm shooting this video for you, our Perfect Client Pipeline is working, right? I don't know who's coming through it, but a percentage of those people are going to go to the next step with us. And I have nothing to do with that. I set it up once. Obviously, we monitor it over time, but I don't have to do any of this stuff. I don't have to have a YouTube channel. I don't have to do anything. I love doing this stuff. I love creating content. I love shooting videos. But if I had to rely on these videos to grow my business, I would be majorly screwed, because this takes a long time. My other health channel, which is Yuri Elkaim, obviously more in the health and fitness space, our channel has about 300,000 subscribers as of this recording, but it took me like 7 years to get there. And as much as I love doing this stuff, if I had to rely on it to like bring home the bacon, I'd be toast. And so that's why it's so nice to have a predictable system in your business that frees you up to do more of what you want to do in and out of your business. So if you're like me and you love working and you love providing value and contributing to your audience, that's great. But as long as that stuff is kind of like an afterthought, because you have a system that's predictably bringing in clients and revenue for you, that's a really nice place to come from, as opposed to trying to like force stuff down people's throats on social media 24 hours a day because you have to. So if you can relate to that, just be like, amen. And if you want to solve that problem once and for all, then watch the Perfect Client Pipeline. Again, it'll change the way you look at business and how you do things. So anyways, that is the 4-step framework for very effective, high converting social media ads. If you've enjoyed this, hey, got lots more stuff for you, including some examples of this type of ads somewhere on my channel. Anyways, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single thing. And by all means, remember to watch the Perfect Client Pipeline training below. It's really good. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Keep up the amazing work, and I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.